going to move to our favorite game, Own, Rent, Trash. I'm giving you 3 films, and there's no one's right or wrong. It's just, your personal opinion and why movies would gravitate towards you. You're going to choose to own it, which would be, you can watch it as many times as you want over and over again. Rent would be like maybe once, maybe twice, but nothing like owning it. And then trash is just completely throw it in the garbage. So we start off with 3 3 beloved films that are stop animation, and I'd love to get your opinions on this one.
This is gonna be so hard for Andy. Andy hates stop animation.
Oh my god, yeah. It's so funny because everybody says, like, I have so many friends who Nightmare Before Christmas is their favorite film, and it might be like my least favorite. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like,
and even
the
when
voodoo
Coraline
dolls with the eyes, so it gets
then
to
Coraline
me.
Got re-released in theaters this year.
Yeah,
and made a decent amount of money. And Andy's like, that one freaks him out so much. So once I saw all these, I was like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is there a specific order you want us to go in, or just?
We'll start with you guys for this one, and then we'll swap on the next one. We can have Huck go first. So yeah, Katie, you can go, and then we'll move on from there.
Okay. And so I say all 3, like own.
Yeah.
Okay. I would probably own Nightmare Before Christmas. I would rent Coraline, and then trash Corpse Bride.
Okay. Any reasons?
I actually love Nightmare Before Christmas, and I enjoyed Coraline. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the love right now from you, bud. Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially like now, and the Coraline would be enjoyable for me to rent because then it'll be an awful experience for Andy.
Yeah, and John's absolutely right. It's Nightmare Before Christmas is a goddamn classic, but it's like if you've had the best chocolate ice cream you've ever had, but you're deathly allergic to chocolate, And so it's like I get it, I totally get it. It's just not for me. I'd probably go I'd go probably Coraline, and then Nightmare Before, and then Corpse Bride.
So own Coraline for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Huck?
Oh boy. Well, you guys aren't gonna like this one. So we're gonna sort of reverse engineer that order. And this is just going off like gut feeling. I saw Coraline for the first time last year and was surprised how much I liked it. But there is one on here I've seen multiple times, and it's not what you'd expect. It's actually Corpse Bride is my favorite on this list. I think it is highly rewatchable. It moves at a great pace. Performances are entertaining. And it's actually directed by Tim Burton. So we're going own that one. Coraline, because I've seen it once but liked it, is a rent. And Nightmare Before Christmas, kind of like what you were saying. I know it's held up to the standard, but I like the music. Here's the thing. I like the music more than I like the movie.
Yeah. See, this is a man of sophistication. This is the sophisticated man is what this is. This is a guy who understands cinema. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah. So
thank God, finally.
I have to trash that thing, man. Open the lid, check it in, seal the lid, tape it shut.
Well, again, there's no wrong answers. I just got to bring in here John Automates, who I stream with all the time. He's here saying hi, and he says, Nightmare Before Christmas is a goddamn classic.
I know. Classic trash. I'm just playing with y'all.
Okay, so we'll go to the next one. So
well, Tracy, what is your? I want to know what you would do with that.
Okay.
Come on, so, you're not getting out of this one.
I would probably own Nightmare Before Christmas just because I always play it either like around Halloween or Christmas every year. I feel like at some point it was just like wrapping gifts or getting ready to go out for Halloween. So I'll probably own that just as a convenience. And then I have to rewatch Corpse Bride. I only saw it once in the theater and I have not revisited it. So I think this is going to be the year where I revisit it because I'm very curious to see how I would feel. I didn't not like it before. It's just been so long. So I would probably trash Corpse Bride and then rent Coraline. But I do need to rewatch Corpse Bride for sure. But in honor of disappointing or bad sequels, these are all sequels that did not live up to the first film. We have Speed 2, Cruise Control, Son of the Mask, and Space Jam: A New Legacy. So if you have to own, rent, or trash.
All right, so we'll start with me on this one.
Yes.
I think this is pretty easy. I mean, just because, look, Sandra Bullock's in it, I'm gonna own Speed 2. Actually, I own Speed 2, so it goes hand in hand. It's right there. But the other two, I will go ahead and rent Space Jam, but that Son of Mask is going in the garbage. I mean, it's so far from the greatness of Jim Carrey, it's not even funny. Because that's the thing, is all three of these are so far from their originals, but that one is no.
Good choices. How about you, Katie?
So I would own Speed 2 because that's the only one I would probably be able to.
Yeah,
watch.
girl.
Katie's not going to tell you, but she watches Speed 2 once a week since it came out. Like, you know.
Nice.
I'm able to watch Fast and the Furious movies, so Speed 2 is not anything new. But no, I would probably rent Son of the Mask because I've never seen that, and I do not like Space Jam: A New Legacy, so I'll trash that movie.
Yeah, see, I would. I mean, dude, I don't like compared to the other two. I don't think Speed 2 is nearly as bad as those. So I'd own Speed 2.
Right.
Space Jam's at least a film, so I'd rent that. And then Son of the Mask is like, I don't know. Like, it borders on like so bad. Maybe it's fun, but it's not fun. You know, it's not.
Yeah, it doesn't even go to
like,
the "it's bad, it's good" thing.
Yeah, it's just something that happened. You know, like, you know, it happened.
I actually have never seen Speed 2 Cruise Control, but all of you have sold me on that would be the one to own. So I would definitely do that. As much as I really, really, really disliked Space Jam: A New Legacy. I don't know. Maybe I would rent Son of the Mask just to see like how bad filmmaking can be sometimes, and then trash Space Jam Legacy. But it like the bottom two are very tough for a reason. Because I love the original Space Jam so much. We've got people in the chat giving their own thoughts on this. Holland Oates says own Speed 2 and trash both the other two. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say after we rent our middle choice, we'll just dump it in the trash with our third choice.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Own Speed 2 just for the set they destroy at the end. We got a Speed 2 owns Space Jam 2, rent Son of the Mask, trash. John says trash, dumpster, landfill in that order.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Terrace House Guy says so true, Huck, on the Jim Carrey comment. So true.
Thanks, man.
Yes. Wow.
Do you guys ever think that like Speed 2 was supposed to be another thing on like the freeway and somebody just wrote Cruise Control and it got passed off and someone's like, oh, cruise, like a boat, and just nobody cared enough to correct them and they just put it on a boat?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so these are going to be all Coen Brothers films.
Ooh,
we have Fargo, The Big Lebowski, and No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
You have to go first.
This is so hard. I love all of these films. Oh my gosh. This is so crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
It's very Sophie's choice, so it's again not a wrong answer.
It's like you're killing a baby.
Yes.
I gotta go own Big Lebowski because even if I catch that on TV, I always end up watching whatever's left of it. I love that film. Shit, and it's so hard because I love Fargo, but I guess I would rent Fargo, but I watch Fargo on the reg, so I'd rent Fargo, and as crazy it is, I'd throw No Country for Old Men in the trash. But I own like all three of those films and watch them all the time.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
See,
and I get that that's probably not the order of how good these films are, but that's how much I watch these.
Yeah, I'll say. See, and I probably would own Fargo and rent The Big Lebowski, and then trash No Country for Old Men.
Well, here's the good thing: we all got something different then. So, and I'm going off of the gut feeling of how I felt when I watched each one for the first time, right? Because that's how they're speaking to me from here. one of these films I have not seen until finally this year for the first time. I love sort of coming to movies late when people are like, you haven't seen that yet? I'm like, no, and I'm proud of it. But this year I saw No Country for Old Men, and I was blown away by it. So for me, that's the strongest of the three feelings. So I would actually own that one. Fargo, I had tons of fun, and I've seen more than the other two. So that's a rent for me. And Lebowski, I've only seen the one time because it didn't really speak to me on a rewatch thing. So I'll wait on the top of the trash can with the lid closed.
I'm gonna agree. I'm actually gonna take. Again, no one's right or wrong, but I'm gonna do the same thing as Huck. And I will be murdered by my boyfriend because The Big Lebowski is his favorite movie, and he went through a time frame where he watched it like every day. So, yeah, he's like Lebowski FTW. Yeah,
There he is. That's a fact.
Lebowski fans are like hard.
I know exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, they have like, they used to, I don't know if they still have it, but I think it was in Brooklyn. They would have a Lebowski fest, like a festival, and everyone would be drinking White Russians, and then like I think even oh my God, why am I'm blanking on everyone's name today? Jeff Bridges. Like he has shown up a couple times to it. There's like a Lebowski like store in New York. Like it's crazy. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's nuts. Super fans. Cool. So we'll go to the next one. Okay. So I don't know if this is going to be probably a hard one for Hold My Dualshock unless you've seen any of these because they're not big horror fans. Well, not that they're not, but like, you know what I'm saying? So this is the Maxine trilogy, X, Pearl, and Maxine.
So not going to lie, I haven't seen any of these.
That's fine.
I've seen Pearl and Maxine. I haven't seen X.
Then you start because I'm worried. Huck, do you want to go first?
Yeah, you go first so I can copy.
You want me to go first? All right.
Yeah.
Well, luckily I've seen all three. Again, and I was late to this franchise too, y'all. Like everyone else had seen it. I think I've seen them all or end of last year or this year, so within a year's time. But X is hands down my favorite. I love that sort of 70s vibe that it's got, and the tone of it is just so unique and interesting. The other two, it's tough because I found Pearl fascinating because it was a prequel of sorts, but then Maxine had a lot of charm to it. Those are pretty, kind of even with me on the next one. I guess I'll put Maxine second and put Pearl, even though I like Pearl. I'll lay her on the trash can next to Big Lebowski.
Yeah. I haven't seen X, so I'd have to rent X just to be able to comment on it. I liked Pearl. I kind of thought like Maxine was a little more hollow than Pearl, but like I like the aesthetic. But it was just like it's probably in that order. Yeah, probably own Pearl and then trash Maxine and then rent X so I can see it. Even though I know I should have like watched those in order, but yeah.
We don't do things like you're supposed to over here.
I missed X in theaters, and then Maxine was just out recently.
I'm honestly just gonna go with Andy's answer because I have no idea. I haven't seen any of these.
What a follower! Oh my gosh!
I've seen the trailer for all of them. So, in all honesty, Maxine probably is more my vibe of types of movies I like. So I guess I'll be different. Never mind. I'll own Maxine, and I'll rent X, and I'll trash Pearl.
I love that. trailer vibes only.
Yeah, that's totally fine. And that totally works for this game too. I loved the aesthetic of Maxine, but I guess I was hoping that she was going to be a little bit crazier in it, and I think I just had my own expectations in a totally different direction of where they went. I loved that Pearl was really like paying an homage to films from the 40s and like and 30s, I guess. And like she is just, I mean, Mia Goth is just like absolutely insane in Pearl, like to another degree. And I, as you as well, I love the 70s vibe of X. I would probably but the problem is I think Pearl doesn't have as much of a rewatchability as X. Mm-hmm. So I would probably own X, rent Pearl, and then trash Maxine.
So you guys both think that X is the best of the three?
I
I
do.
think, well, it's tough because I feel like Pearl is like such an interesting film in general and could be like highly regarded of just that as its own thing. But it's so much like heavier than X is in a certain, like, I just don't know how many times I would throw it on.
Yeah, you're right. X has got that rewatchable thing to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So these are all Brat Pack movies: Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, and St. Elmo's Fire.
This is great.
I'll go first this time. So I'm not gonna lie, I do not remember St. Elmo's Fire.
What?
I don't at all. I know the Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink. I've watched both of those multiple times. I would probably own the Breakfast Club, and I guess rent Pretty in Pink and then trash St. Elmo's Fire, just because I, off the top of my head, cannot remember anything about that film.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked St. Elmo's Fire more than I like Pretty in Pink. So I go Breakfast Club to own, rent St. Elmo's Fire, and trash Pretty in Pink.
Cool.
I think this is a slam dunk putting Breakfast Club first. I think it's just so good. It's one of my favorite all time 80s films, right up there with, I don't want to telegraph it in case another one pops up in the game. I don't know where this game's going. But yeah, the other two. Yeah, I think I'm with you on this. I'm going to go St. Elmo's Fire second, Pretty in Pink last.
Breakfast Club's also so iconic.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even realize like how many times you just in modern culture you're just accidentally quoting, or there's so many homages to it, you know.
Yeah, wasn't that Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw, like part 2 or whatever? They're literally in the Breakfast Club poster on the poster, and I'm like, that's how popular that movie is.
Yeah.
That a horror movie spoofed the poster. That was awesome.
Yeah. I hate doing this, but
do it.
I'm gonna own the Breakfast Club. I'm going to, well, okay. I have like such a soft spot for Pretty in Pink, just because I love Ducky in that, John Cryer, so much, and I love his lip syncing in the record store. It's just so good to me. I'm gonna rent Pretty in Pink and then trash St. Elmo's Fire, but I would like to do a rewatch of St. Elmo's Fire because I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I have seen Pretty in Pink probably more than the Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire. But I think the fact that the Breakfast Club has also, like, as you guys were saying, inspired so many. I mean, they've tried to remake it in different ways, not like remaking it, but you guys know what I mean, like the concept wise.
Yeah.
It's been done so many times in TV shows and other films. So, but yeah, it's a tough one. Okay, and then this is the final one. I'm going to be doing this pretty much every stream because I find it really interesting about what no one has seen any of these, obviously, and it's kind of like, well, what would we do without seeing any of these films? And it's, I'm not trying to be like harsh on them, but it's just like people gravitate towards different ones each time. So I'm curious to see what you guys would think. Thunderbolts, Brave New World, Captain America, and Fantastic Four.
It's so hard. I have almost no expectations for any of these films. Oh my gosh.
You gonna go first?
I can.
It's
Seeing it's like on the just the fact that I love the Fantastic Four, I want it to be good, but I have like no faith. Like the fact that you're not gonna have the Dr. Doom and Reed Richards relationship, not hopeful. Not crazy about seeing Pedro Pascal again. He's just in everything. Just
wow.
I'm also just not really crazy about any of the casting. Like, I don't think any of them are like stellar, other than the guy from The Bear. I like him, but then he's gonna be covered in prosthetics. But then like Thunderbolts, I think is just gonna be like another stab at Suicide Squad. And then Brave New World, I've heard nothing but
There's been
nothing but sad things about. Yeah. Like two previews and like still nobody. I don't know.
You gotta pick, homie.
I don't know. It's so hard.
Preach on, brother.
I guess Fantastic Four. Just because I'm hoping there's gonna be enough there to like, and then maybe Brave New World, because I just think Thunderbolts is gonna be annoying. I think it's just gonna be a waste of time.
No.
I don't know.
I will own Fantastic Four, rent the Thunderbolts, and trash with Brave New World.
You think
Wow.
Thunderbolts is gonna be a film though? I think it's just gonna be.
Regardless, I'd be willing to sit through Thunderbolts than whatever they're trying to do with Brave New World.
There might actually though from the leaks I've heard about Brave New World. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's horrendous.
They have scenes that were filmed without anyone there. Like,
yeah.
No, thank you.
I don't know.
All right,
Might just
well,
get sick. Yeah.
so this was pretty easy for me. I loved your talk through on this and how all of them have their downsides but upsides. For me though, own it. It really is Fantastic Four because I think this is the one that needs to be the best out of all three. It has to be. I like the aesthetic look of the 60s, but it's also that futuristic sort of Jetsons look kind of thing going on. And so I think there's some sort of fresh new take, similar to what James Gunn is going to be doing with the new Superman movie, a whole new fresh looking take. So that's definitely own. And I guess rent. I'm gonna just rent Brave New World because it's got Harrison Ford in it. It's kind of a Captain America knockoff. My only hesitation is, okay, I get it that Sam is Captain America now, but he's throwing the shield just like Captain America, and he does not have the super soldier serum, making him strong enough to do those things. So you cannot just let Sam do those things. There needs to be several scenes where he throws the shield and it doesn't go as far, or he doesn't catch it. If I see those, I'm like, they nailed it. That's it. But if he's just doing Captain America stuff, that's not who that is. Just bring Captain America back. And I like that he's got his, Falcon stuff with it too. So that gives him his own identity. But this has the biggest chance of missing the mark. Thunderbolts, I'm not sure. Like you just said, it's like doing Suicide Squad or a very lesser degree Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, let's piece together characters no one really wants together and see what happens. So yeah, I feel like most people are just going to be trash. So go up from the bottom.
Yeah, all of you brought up such great points. I think I'm with all of you with the Fantastic Four film. It does need to be great, and I'm waiting for a live action Jetsons movie, and no one's making it, and so that's gonna be the closest thing I get, I guess. I just feel like with the technology we have now, we could be like one of the coolest like live action things to do Jetsons, but I'll take Fantastic Four and own that, and then I think Brave New World does seem more formulaic, and I'm hoping they didn't screw up that formula even though they have in the past. So I will probably just for safety right now, and this will probably change every week that I do this. In my opinion on this, I'll rent Brave New World and then trash Thunderbolts. But I really hope that Thunderbolts is like a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So
on that note, is it not crazy that there's never been a live action Jetsons? When you look at how many live action Scooby Doo's and Flintstones there have been, they just never did the Jetsons. Just,
I mean, you got Jim and the holograms for God's sake, and you didn't get the Jetsons. Not to shade on Jim and the holograms. She's truly outrageous, but
just seems odd that no one decided to make.
They did Josie and the Pussycats back. I mean, you would think that Jetsons. I mean, that's like a
iconic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love Josie and the Pussycats, by the way, but that is for another stream.
Oh yeah.